Oh, it is certainly a dream, but it's now a reality. Matty B, T-Scales holding you down. The issuing of belts and brooms by the Knicks continues back in the finals for the first time since, well, we'll get to that. All that to say, they had the app formerly known as Twitter going nuts.
A buzz, and they are partying like it's 1999. Cue the Prince, New York back in the finals for the first time since 1999. Have I mentioned that?
Yeah.
And the city that never sleeps definitely not getting any Z's tonight.
Absolutely not, because it's orange and blue skies beyond midnight. After Game 4 against the Cavs, Jalen Brunson and crew ready to bust out the brooms out there in Cleveland, but Donovan Mitchell would at least give it the old college try. This time, scoring inside over OG Anunoby. He had a game-high 31. The last you're going to see of him in this highlight, at least in the positive light. James Harden missed 3. Winds up in the hands of Jalen Brunson all by his lonesome. Throws it up for the lay-in and good. Knicks up by 4 at that point. Next Cavs possession, a Dean Wade missed 3 leads to another outlet. Josh Hart leading it out to Anunoby. Oh, through all kinds of contact, throws it down. Knicks in the first quarter had 13 fast break points, their most in any quarter this postseason. Under 2 minutes left in the first. Brunson, pull-up game proper from 27. Had a 12-point lead. Did New York after 1, and in the second it was more of the same. Landry Shamet this time off the sidestepping pump fake. A 16-0 run at that point. Less than a minute later, Jose Alvarado out the gate. 18-0 run. It's sounding like MSG in there low-key. You can hear the crowd pops. Mitchell turns it over. Towns with the putback dunk off the Alvarado missed 3, a 20-point unanswered run for New York. Knicks would lead by 19 at the break. By the time we get to the third quarter, it's about that time to go ahead and pack your bags for Cancun, folks. Once he hits something like that, just pack it in. Towns with 19 and 14. Later in the third, Brunson lobbing it to Anunoby. We are clowning at this point. There was a watch party at Radio City Music Hall. 6,000 Knicks fans in that thing, and all of them losing their minds. Under 7 minutes left in the third. Anunoby cleaning it up with the dunk. I just, as New York fans are watching this, I'm sure they're so measured in their expectations going forward. Everything's just going to be very understanding. If it doesn't necessarily end up in a championship, I'm sure there will be no massive reactions. Anunoby with the slam there. Towns a fan. Brunson, your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The Knicks get to their 9th NBA Finals in franchise history.
The belief that the organization has in me has been amazing, and it's something I don't take for granted, and it's something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do so. So I'm very thankful, and it's an honor to be here in this city and for this organization and this with my teammates. And yeah, obviously these guys have my back, and they've always had it, and wouldn't trade that for the world.
Growing up in the area, I feel like the word hope has been gone from the New York Knicks name for a long time. And for me and OG to be part of this team that revives the word hope in the city, it's something special. It's something really, really special, and it's an honor. And it's one of those things, you know, when I was growing up watching the Knicks, it was just hoping one day you could just put the jersey on. I never knew I'd be in this position at this mic talking about us going to the finals and the city believing in us. And that speaks a lot to the camaraderie of this team, the character of this team, the willingness, the sacrifice everyone's been willing to put forward for the betterment of the team. And like you said, there's nowhere better in the world when the Garden has hope.
And the Knicks are the 4th team to enter the NBA Finals on an 11-game win streak or better. The 89-01 Lakers each won 11 straight, and the 2017 Warriors won 12 straight. All 3 of those teams went on to the finals, and 2 of them won it all. But on the losing end of this equation, Donovan Mitchell, who's still searching for his first finals appearance.
I mean, y'all asked me 1,000 times if we retired. I can't tell you yes. But I mean, we did this to ourselves. And that's not an excuse. They're a hungry team. They beat us. They beat us, swept us. So I don't want to diminish that. But we didn't give ourselves a chance because we didn't handle business. And I told them guys in the locker room, I said, now we know. Like, for a lot of us who've never been here, you can't play with your food. And we had an opportunity in game one, and then we blew that. So the 2 series before, having to go 7, and it's our fault. Like, we did that to ourselves.
You know, it's just an unfortunate situation. You know what I mean? Like, any team coming off a tough two series against 2 defensive monsters, it would have been challenging. And I don't necessarily, like, maybe the first 3 quarters we play well. I don't even know if the first half in the first game 1. I think maybe that third quarter we play well where we actually made shots. And then other than that, I don't necessarily can't remember a quarter where we actually made shots, like as a group.
Let's welcome in Stephen A. Smith for more on this one. Stephen A., we've heard this a time or two in this conversation, but for the first time since 1999, we can say the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. What is it about this team, your New York Knicks, specifically that got them back there?
Well, first of all, the thing about this team is that they got someplace the team hasn't got to in the last 27 years. 27 years is a long time. 27 years is a long damn time, okay? It's been long, and it's been a lot of suffering in the process, but it all ended tonight, baby. I mean, when you saw the way that the New York Knicks played, this is when I knew, first of all, I knew coming into the game it was done. It was done because we saw Cleveland give up in Game 3. But then in Game 4, when Donovan Mitchell comes out and he's hitting Jays all over the place, but nobody else joins him, you saw the Knicks just stayed the course. You saw everybody hitting shots. And they are led by a superstar that's 6'1" and unathletic in terms of playing above the rim. But nobody seems to be able to stop him. And that is Jalen Brunson, who is on the verge of potentially going down as the all-time greatest Knick in history if he ends up pulling off a championship victory. It's something special to behold right now. I can't even contain my excitement. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, I'm going to take you from the elation of the Knicks tape, though, and shift it over to the losers of this equation, the Cavs. Streets were saying that this was a 1-2-3 Cancun Classic. Charles Barkley spoke to that with the Inside Crew at halftime. I want you to take a listen, Stephen A.
Kids at home, if you want to see what the word quit means,
oh, come on, Chuck.
to give up, the verb of that is cavaliers.
Oh, come on.
Players ain't going to say they're going to quit, but you know what shows? Their actions.
And look, that is in summation what you were alluding to in Game 3. After that one, you said that they needed to add LeBron in order to even try to keep up in this league at this point. Is that even enough for Cleveland at this point?
Well, what you would like to believe is somebody is, a 4-time champion with the leadership qualities that LeBron James has put on display throughout his illustrious career and what the city of Cleveland means to him. You wouldn't see a lackadaisical effort at the tail end of Game 3 the way that you did. And so that's what you're looking at more importantly than anything else. But trust me, there was an ass kicking in the process. It wasn't just about giving up. They were demoralized because they got stomped. And as a result, they caved in that regard. But when Charles Barkley said what he said, he was absolutely 1,000% correct because he backed it up with evidence that we all saw. How many times did we see the Knicks beating the Cleveland Cavaliers down the court? How in the hell do you give up 26 fast break points in the first half of a closeout game on your home court? Think about that for a second. 26 points and fast break points in the first half. You're not getting back on defense. You're not making that concerted extra effort to really, really show the level of urgency that comes with that moment. And that's where the word quit comes from. Maybe not Donovan Mitchell, but damn sure everybody else looked that way. And now to me, when you're going to ask this question about the Cleveland Cavaliers, I got a better question for you. Which one was worse? The dereliction of duty, the subpar or atrocious effort, whichever word works for you, in this game, or the Atlanta Hawks who were down by 47 in the first half to the New York Knicks? I mean, pick one. There's a bunch of quitting, and we got to look at the common denominator. You got 2 teams that essentially quit. Maybe, just maybe, it's the Knicks making them quit, considering Mr. Analytics and Mr. Atkinson, Coach Atkinson, talking about, well, actually, when you look at the analytics, we actually won 2 of the 3 games. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you simply can't stomach. that has something to do with why you got blown out, why you got your ass kicked. And that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, look, I will absolutely concede that they beat the 1-2 out of them. But Stephen A., you ain't had to bring up old stuff. I'm a Hawks fan. That was completely uncalled for.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Trent's Hawks catching strays over here.
Let me guess. You haven't even been back to Atlanta since then, have you?
I mean,
that's how bad it was.
I know
the stench was that damn bad that they contaminated the ATL that night. That's how bad it was. That's how bad the Hawks were. Cleveland wasn't quite that bad tonight, but they were bad. Damn. And it has something to do with the New York Knicks because they're going to the finals. They're going to the finals. And, oh, by the way, they might win that bad boy. I can't roll it out. It is orange and blue skies out there for Stephen A. Very clearly. We appreciate you.
Finals starting with round 1 against the Hawks after trailing 2-1 in the series. Let's take a look at Game 6. The Knicks set a new NBA playoff record for the largest halftime margin in history.
I don't need this.
47 points. Knicks go on to win 140-89. The 51-point win is the largest playoff win in team history. Trevor's feelings still hurt.
Moving on to round 2 against the Sixers. Knicks looking for the sweep. Won the first 3, ran away in Game 4 to provide the broom treatment and advance to the conference finals. 3rd sweep in a best-of-7 series in franchise history. And Josh Hart, who is wont to trolling, is doing just that.
I used to think Philly was a sports town. I don't know if it is anymore.
He's a troll. He's a troll.
You got to pay the troll toll. You know, listen, they had it done so easily. They had so much time off. Game 1 against the Cavs, the Knicks trailed by 22 points in the 4th. But they came all the way back to tie and then win in OT. In the playoffs, the Knicks became the first team to win when trailing by 20 or more points in the final 7 minutes of the 4th. All other teams 0-663.
So we get to Game 2 against the Cavs, and Brunson took over. Knicks went on an 18-0 run, and Josh Hart, after Game 2, was talking to them.
I'm never a huge analytics guy. At a certain point, they're a lamppost or a drunk person. You can lean on them, but it won't get you home.
I like it.
We heard a lot about analytics in this series. Game 3, Knicks lead 2-0. Landry Shamet, huge, hitting 4 threes off the bench in the second half. The Knicks, the first 10-game win streak at any point since 2013.
Analytically, I think we've won I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that as like an expected score.
You rationalize it however you want to. By the time we got to Game 4, it was 1-2-3 Cancun for them boys.
This
Jalen Brunson. It was all bad for Cleveland on the way out here. Knicks end up winning by 37 points after a 20-0 run in the first half. They advance to the finals, and this is something head coach Mike Brown knew this team was capable of.
I truly felt that this team was an NBA Finals team. I felt we had a true opportunity, because some jobs you take, you're like, okay, we can get better. We have a chance to make the playoffs right now. But this one, I felt we legitimately had a chance if we could help them figure it out. The players can stay together during the process.
This team's hungry, and that's the most important thing. Even with an amazing historical win we had tonight, the celebrations were minimal. You know, we really want to get back to work. Ask Coach, can we get back to work quick?
It has been a whole lot of belted behind because of that mentality, courtesy of the Knicks. 4 of their 12 wins have been by 30 or more. Entering this year, New York had 5 such wins in the previous 79 seasons combined.
Technique. Bridges drives alley-oop, and Robinson with the two-handed slam. Deuce McBride hits the three-pointer. Fakes a 3, sidestep, another three-pointer, punts it in. Knicks are red hot once again. It's a 20-point lead. Cavs have let go here. Like the hope is disappearing right now. Another turnover. Anunoby, Brunson, alley-oop.
When they sweat the technique.
And Anunoby with the slam. Believe it, Knicks fans, the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
It's been 27 years, but the Knicks are back. First time since 1999. But let's look back at the Knicks' last 5 finals appearances, beginning with their first title win in 1970, Game 7. A hobbled Willis Reed inspired his team, but maybe no one more than Clyde Frazier, who dropped 36 points, 19 dimes, and 7 boards. in one of the best Game 7 performances ever. Then 1972 was the rematch. The Knicks won Game 1 before losing 4 straight as the duo of Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West proved too much for New York. This was the Logo's only NBA title in 9 appearances. But a year later, the teams ran it back for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, with the Knicks claiming their 2nd title. This time, it was LA winning Game 1 before losing 4 straight as Reed claimed his 2nd Finals MVP. Shout out to the grainy footage. 21 years later, it was Patrick Ewing who had led the Knicks to a 3-2 lead in the finals, but they ran into Hakeem Olajuwon-led Rockets, who won the final 2 games at home to clinch their first of back-to-back titles. In the lockout-shortened 1999 season, the Knicks became the first 8 seed to reach the NBA Finals, but lost the series in 5 games to the Spurs behind 27-14 from Tim Duncan.
But see, we're not concerning ourselves with the past here on SportsCenter. The present is what we're discussing with Big Perk. Perk, we all know Jalen Brunson comes through in the clutch like no other, but there really wasn't a lick of clutch minute to be seen in the past couple of games for the New York Knicks. So what part of Brunson's game shined the most to you as they closed out this series?
Hey, Trev, you my dog and all, but get it right, though. It's big body Brunson. And look, not only has he been the best player in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion, over the last 2 years, he's been the best player in this postseason and in these conference finals, and it showed because we saw in Game 1, he had to take it over for us, him getting buckets. But what great players do is that they're able to get theirs and make others around him better. And we saw that throughout the course of this series, especially in the first quarter. And I want you to look at how he's dissecting this quote-unquote zone that the Cavs are running. Right there, Mikal Bridges finds the open gap. Beautiful delivery by Brunson. Here it is again, surveying the floor, looking at the help, draws Mobley up just enough to get a lob to Big Mitchell Robinson. Now we go again. He gets downhill, uses the snake action, and hits him with a beautiful corner pass to Landry Shamet for a wide open 3. His display of greatness has been on point all across the board. Jalen Brunson is entering the conversation of real greatness. If he could lead this team to winning the NBA championship, he's going to be sitting at the table with Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas for small guards to be able to lead their teams to the championship and complete the mission.
But first, we got to talk about just the emphatic way in which he led them to the NBA Finals for the first time in this millennium. But once they get there, they're going to face the winner of the Spurs-Thunder series. Perk, how do you view the Knicks' championship chances against either of those teams?
Oh, they got a legit shot. Look, make no mistake about it. I know the world is saying the winner of OKC and the Spurs are going to win the NBA championship. That is so far from the truth. The New York Knicks are loaded. They're deeper than the Pacific Ocean, and they are full of two-way players. When you look at what they provide, when you look at OG Anunoby, Landry Shamet, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, even McBride, right? Those guys are defending at a high level. They're shooting a 3 at a high level. They're getting out in transition at a high level. The Knicks have been playing arguably the best basketball out of every single team in this postseason. And when you add those two-way players alongside Karl Anthony Towns and Big Body Brunson, they could match up with either OKC or the San Antonio Spurs and have a real legit shot at bringing home their NBA championship.
All those players and a little thing called momentum, too. The Knicks enter the finals on an 11-game win streak, just the 4th team in NBA history to do so, the first out of the Eastern Conference. Perk, thanks so much for the insight.
Appreciate y'all.
When Danhausen, in our world of WWE, a clown with face paint comes and says, "You are cursed," there is no curse. The Cleveland Cavaliers are not cursed. They are going to beat the New York Knicks. They are going to move on to the finals, and they are going to win the NBA championship. And that's awesome!
So if you're not yet familiar with Danhausen, let me set the stage for you. A WWE wrestler who carries a jar of teeth, unclear whose teeth, but
Gross.
It is all a part of the vibe. And he dishes out curses. Last month, Trev, Danhausen appeared on First Take, cursed Stephen A. Smith and the Knicks, but a Knicks fan took control of the situation, paying the very nice, very evil wrestler for a cameo to formally lift the curse and hex their opponents instead. And it's worked out well for New York.
Yeah, what Danhausen did, you know, the whole flipping of the hex switch from upon the Knicks to upon the Cavs, put them on a generational run, Hausen, and has since inspired a level of pandemonium that is somehow as obnoxious as it is charming.
I do have a special mission I've been sent on, and it is for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, to let them know that they are cursed.
Oh. So let's see how it all played out. Game 1, Danhausen with the custom Knicks jersey. And it was looking like the curse was very ineffective initially. Knicks trailed by as many as 22 points and found a way to come back in the fourth quarter and win that bad boy, defeating the Cavs 115-104. The curse lives on, and here's Danhausen postgame.
Danhausen told you the curse was real. We did it. Danhausen has cursed the Cavaliers. The Knicks have won, and Danhausen has won. And now he's owed courtside seats in between Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Yes, that's right. And then the curse will continue.
Chalamet is a wild and expensive price for the curse to remain. Game 2, the Knicks exploding in the third quarter, going on an 18-0 run. Just too much for Cleveland. The Knicks defeat the Cavaliers 109-93. Here's Jalen Brunson postgame when he was asked if he had seen the Danhausen curse and what he thought. Take a listen.
I am a little bit curious. You are a bit of a wrestling fan. There is someone else that's kind of trying to take some credit for this at the moment. I am curious about your thoughts about like this entire Danhausen situation.
Honestly, I don't know too much about it. I've been off of social media, so I'll leave it at that.
Now that grin would tell me otherwise, and this performance in Game 3 tells me otherwise as well, Jalen, because you put up 30. Wound up whooping the Cavs once again, had them looking out there like they were about to quit. Danhausen on social media afterwards saying the curse lives on. 3-0 Hausen.
At a Game 4 Monday, Knicks dominating the Cavs in another commanding victory, going on a 20-0 run in the second. The curse lives on. The Knicks reached their first NBA Finals since 1999.
There it is.
New York wins 130-93, sweeping the Cavs.
This just in, Hausen.
Even funnier, just thoughtful.
I love that he is absolutely leaning into this entire bit. The sweeping motion is just perfect from Danhausen. Absolutely killer.
It's the sweep and the shuffle. I can see that just dominating a dance.
Not a single word spoken.